Hello and welcome. I am the Grand Inquisitor.
And I am Ben Kenobi.
Are you?
Yes.
Have I been run through with a lightsaber?
Possibly once, but you can just run that off. It's
Okay,
fine.
we'll forget that then and carry on. Okay, yeah, it's me, Greg, the bold one.
And Ollie, the bearded one.
And today we're just going to throw everything to the wall and see what sticks. We're going to talk about Kenobi. We haven't got much of a plan. 6-episode series on Disney Plus, charting Obi-Wan Kenobi's life, looking after Luke Skywalker, and going on a wicked adventure as he does. We're going to break it down into different sections and just talk about them and what we thought, and come to some kind of final conclusion about how badly Disney are trashing the Star Wars name. Oh, did I say that? Okay. So, the plot. The Order 66 has been carried out. The Jedi are dead, apart from a couple. They're being hunted by the Grand Inquisitor and his group of Inquisitors with funny accents.
Extremely funny accents.
Or maybe not even talking at all. And an incredibly determined and raging Reva.
Who for some reason has got a personal vendetta against Obi-Wan.
Full on anti-Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Okay, and Obi-Wan has to go. Princess Leia's kidnapped as part of a plan to lure him out. Obi-Wan goes and rescues her. There's a big adventure on the way back where they kind of meet the Resistance for the first time. We start to see the birthplace of the rebels.
Yeah.
And on the way, Vader confronts his Obi-Wan again for 2 epic battles. And culminating in, well, them all living happily ever after and forgetting everything that happened, really.
Basically, yeah.
So that's it. That is the plot. So, we're going to talk about various things. We're going to start with Obi-Wan himself. Played by Ewan McGregor.
I love Ewan McGregor. Absolutely love him.
The spirit of Alec Guinness. Yeah. He is Obi-Wan Kenobi in his youthful phase. It's great to see him back.
He hasn't lost a touch at all, has he? He hasn't lost a touch.
He hasn't the show,
wow. In terms of his acting, he's still got it.
He's still the cold young one. Yeah. He plays the part of a broken Obi-Wan, really, who doesn't seem to know. He's working at some giant sushi plant thing where he's chopping up bits of creature and going about his daily routine.
It's not what you want to see from your former hero, really,
no,
to be honest with you.
He's buried his lightsaber, he's given away the Jedi code.
He's cut off from the Force.
And he's spying on a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah. When you put it like that, that's a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so he's on Tatooine and he's keeping a low profile. Next, we have the Inquisitors, a group of Force-aware hunters, basically, recruited by Vader. Their job was to hunt down the survivors of Order 66, okay, which in my place is a chicken fried rice and curry sauce. Okay, their job is to find Jedis. They come to Tatooine. Not for Obi-Wan, but for another Jedi. And we get our first look at them. The Inquisitors themselves. The Grand Inquisitor doesn't look a thing like his character, does
If you've watched Rebels, that's the Inquisitors. That's how they did them justice there. But in this series, it was poor.
He seemed to just be like a weird kind of vampire. Hello and welcome.
Awful,
the Jedi will always be like this. Yeah, and then you got the other guy. Who was he? The 7th brother? Or
the 5th brother.
5th brother.
Yeah, he had a weird accent.
He had a voice like this.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Then you had the 5th sister who just didn't. No, the 6th or 7th sister.
7th sister.
She didn't say a single word in the entire series.
She just had like tentacles coming out red. And then you had Mad Reva, who just wanted to chop people's hands off.
I mean, she's got a lot of criticism for this series, and as much as I want to defend actors and actresses, it's undefendable, honestly. It was,
for the show, the tone of the show, it was just completely over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah? I mean, a lot of it made of Star Wars fans being racist or whatever, but we've had great actors. I mean, Lando, you know what I mean? I didn't even notice the colour of Lando's skin. I just thought he was a cool dude in Return of the Jedi when I was a kid. You've had Darth Vader's voice. You know, who else have we had? We've had, what's the guy from Mandalorian?
Oh, you got Finn as well from the kind of sequel series as well.
We've had Finn. What's the guy from The Mandalorian who was in? I forgot his name.
I've forgotten his name.
Yeah,
But he helps out Mando, doesn't he?
Yeah, and also the bad guy, Moff Gideon.
Oh yes, Moff Gideon.
You can tell we've prepared this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moff Gideon. He's a man of colour as well. I just don't see where that's coming from. All it is a poorly written character that just
really
completely detonated the entire Star Wars.
It just took you out of it, didn't it?
Yeah.
It just took you out of the moment completely.
Yeah, she was too brutal. She seemed to be able to transport herself through tunnels.
She's got a weird obsession with Obi-Wan that's not explained at all.
No, she goes into a tunnel behind everyone, then ends up in front of them. You know, I just.
And there was talks, wasn't there, that they're planning a spin-off of Reva, and I just hope they really don't go down that route.
And I just can't understand that she was with the younglings and all the younglings were killed. So what does she want to do in the end? Go and kill a kid? None of it made any sense to me.
It's an Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Stick to it, please.
Yeah. So that was the Inquisitors. They had their own Fortress Inquisitorius, which doesn't have a CCTV camera.
Which is meant to be the most impenetrable place ever. You can never get in.
Unless you've got a set of armbands, you can swim in through the bottom of it. And there's no CCTV. Just a droid that if you hide in a corner, it'll go right past you.
You don't fear the Inquisitors. You don't feel like there's some kind of threat or anything in this series. They're just there. They're honestly just there.
It didn't work. They killed off the Grand Inquisitor. Then he came back. It didn't explain how he came back. He just reappeared, you know. And
I mean, he literally got stabbed in the chest. Yeah. Like, can nobody die
anymore? There's this thing with Star Wars now where you just get stabbed in the chest and you just don't die, you know. Poor old Qui-Gon, he got the short end of the stick. He's the only bloke who's ever died from a lightsaber through the chest. Everyone else
is.
And, you know, they chopped Darth Maul in half, severed his spine, and he managed to fall down a hole in it. But that was the Inquisitors. That's our thoughts on the Inquisitors. Very cool in the Clone Wars series.
Amazing.
Brilliant in the Clone Wars
series. Characters.
But in this programme, they look like a bunch of travelling circus folk.
It's such a shame.
Yeah.
Real shame.
The next thing we're going to talk about is Leia and Luke. Now, I don't know what's going on here because they've made Luke into a total wimp kid.
Isn't Luke meant to be our hero? Isn't he meant to grow up to be this, you know?
Leia, the girl who played Leia was fantastic.
Yeah, she was brilliant.
But her character was fleshed out. She was exciting. She was ambitious. She was a thinker. She was a doer. She, crawled up into that hatch. Yeah, okay, I'll go do it. Boom. She was articulate. She was absolutely fabulous. And Luke kind of lay on the floor and fell off some rocks.
And played with his toys.
And knocked his head.
Yeah.
There was no sign of them ever giving Luke, who was our main introduction to Star Wars.
Yeah.
They didn't make anything of it.
It's the whole thing the franchise is based on. He's the main character, you know? And he just got treated like a punk.
Yeah. And the continuity of it all now. He's lightsabers and, Leia has met Obi-Wan.
Yeah, so why doesn't she remember
And they gave you something at the end that they got to pretend they don't know each other. Even when Darth Vader's crushing your spaceship and choking everybody's throats, you've still got to pretend that you don't know him. Oh, who's this guy? I've never heard of Obi-Wan Kenobi before. Yeah. It's just,
The more they kind of got into it with their relationship, the more it made the original trilogy stupid.
You can see what they're going for here. I think we're going to go for some kind of young Leia series, I think.
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it?
But we'll talk about that later on. And then there's the kind of psychic connection that's been brought in through these new movies between Vader and Obi-Wan, that they can say each other's name and then open their eyes and think about each other, and even when you're in a Bacta tank. It was great to see Vader get stuck back together and, see the pain of all that, what that suit really is to him and how it sticks into his body, and because that's the way it was designed to cut into his skin and make him more rage. And that was really good. I really liked that. But he seemed to have a problem with killing people as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. Apart from when he's walking down the street going, crooking everyone's neck.
Oh, that was stupid.
But, he had Reva down there who just tried to chop his head off, and he just pokes her through the chest and goes off and leaves her.
She just survives as well.
Yeah. I mean, it was great. And when he pulled that ship out of the sky as well, ripped the door off, we saw a proper Rage Vader.
I do love his obsession with Obi-Wan as well. Like, that is what early kind of Darth Vader is. Like, you got to think this is the guy that's just chopped you in half, left you for dead. you're going to want some kind of revenge, aren't you? So,
Yeah, yeah. I know. I think they didn't, to an extent, they didn't dumb him down, but in a way they did. He wasn't as he was brutal in stages, and then I'll just put some rocks on him. That'll do. I'll go back to my ship now.
it was great seeing the kind of love that Hayden Christensen got for returning to the role as Vader as well.
Yeah,
I did enjoy that.
and he gets Obi-Wan, drags him through the fire. And then they start another fire and he can't get through it.
Apparently it's too fiery, that one.
It was too fiery. There's no way around it. It was in a pit.
That was really, really stupid.
There doesn't seem to be any jeopardy.
There's no consequences. There's no danger. There's no danger.
No danger whatsoever.
I mean, obviously we know these characters are going to survive because they've got movies and that coming up, but make it a bit realistic.
I enjoyed the training scene that went back to Attack of the Clones when they were training on the platform.
The flashback, yeah.
Although it was more, it was more Dadawan than Padawan. Wasn't it? I Hayden Christensen, they didn't bother digitally de-aging him. He looked older than Obi-Wan.
He did, yeah. But that's what they should have done more of. Like, I don't understand why there wasn't more of that.
Why wasn't there more flashbacks? You want to see clones. You want to see clone
We want to
troopers.
see the connection between Obi-Wan and Vader, and just flesh it out a bit more. It's what the whole series should have been based on.
Yeah, it just didn't work. But I enjoyed that fight. But their fights between themselves were ridiculous. Obi-Wan lifting up all the rocks and throwing them.
Well, I tell you what that was from. Do you remember when Rey lifted all those rocks up when all the resistance got out?
Yeah.
That was what that was based on. But when there was hitting Vader, and he was like,
rock,
no.
You have defeated me. And his superposition cutting, where he can cut the mask right down there, but not actually touch his face.
Oh, that was good though. I did like that. I must admit,
you can see him
as a
breathing out of it.
fan.
I would have thought he would have died there, but he didn't.
What made no sense there as well, that's the second time Obi-Wan's had now to save the whole galaxy.
Yeah, he's ruined He's responsible for Alderaan. They have made Obi-Wan such a weakling that he's responsible for everybody that died.
Honestly,
from that day forward,
it's literally all Obi-Wan's fault. He's had 2 chances now to kill this bloke.
Yeah, why not do it? He said that Anakin was dead. He should have took his head off.
He should have. But what made no sense to me was how Obi-Wan went from being cut off from the Force to being completely overpowered with the Force and stronger than Darth Vader in the matter of a couple episodes.
Yeah, and there's that bit when they're...
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
When they're escaping on the spaceship, and the Star Destroyer's coming behind it, and because they canter slightly to the left, they just can't shoot it out of the sky. Why didn't Vader just put his hand out and grab that spaceship and put it back in like he did those other ships?
There's so many moments where they just...
there's a big battle going on. Then when they cut inside that ship, they're all sat there going, hello, all right, yes, okay, yeah, I might give up in a minute.
Honestly, there's so many silly scenes in this
I just do not know where to start. We just needed to get this rant off our chest because
100%.
We've been burning.
That final fight scene should have been everything, and it was just devoid of any kind of emotion, stakes. It was just poor. It was really poor, and it was such a shame because we wanted to see for ages, but it just feels like such a letdown.
Yeah,
a letdown.
I mean, I hate to go in on. I hate to go in on this show. I hate it.
I wanted to love this show.
They turned Boba Fett into a fish tank swimming, numpty who couldn't make a decision from the man who used to disintegrate everyone, and now they've done this to Obi-Wan. These are the characters from my childhood. These are the heroes that I grew up with, and they're being deconstructed. Their stories are being made into shams, and the characters are being just palmed off. I don't know. I think that Vader's going to have purple hair in the next one and wear a bra. We're going to find out he's a woman or something because it's changing all the time. Everything's just being picked apart. I mean, I don't know. The Reva character, she knows everything.
It just did not
She
work.
knows who Darth Vader's son is. She knows who Darth Vader is, and they let her live. Obi-Wan should have killed her off.
Yeah, it was.
If he really wanted to protect that boy, he should have killed her off. Exactly. She knows everything.
She literally knows everything. She could just
you make your own decision now. Okay.
You should be like, no, sorry, mate. We need to get you into something. You're gone.
My decision is to get down the cantina and tell everybody what I've just done.
It was really poor acting as well. Like
there was no jeopardy at all, and people were, chasing people down a tunnel and being in front of them. how can Reva get in front of Leia in that tunnel, in that escape tunnel?
It was that thing as well, because obviously we find out in a flashback that she's one of those younglings that was out in the Order 66. But again, does she not get stabbed and then survive again? Like, is she just impenetrable? Like, just oh.
And there's that guy, the guy who flies the spaceship. when he meets him, he's like, "Hey man, I ain't getting involved in no force. Oh no, with no empire. Oh yeah, we need a ship. Okay, everyone on the ship. We're going.
Yeah, we're here for that. We'll do it for you, mate.
Yeah, we'll do it for you. Yeah." And then they had 2 spaceships there. They said, "Oh, we can't fly off because we got the spaceship." And then they flew off on the other spaceship. You know?
Which Darth Vader could have pulled down, like you said.
Yeah. He could have got him as well. Okay, I'll have that one. But he was too busy. He was recharging, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was there breathing, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's pressing right button, left button while he built his power back up. But it's just bad. It was bad. And the continuity is being taken apart. I mean, I don't even know what Andor's going to be like. What on earth? That's just going to destroy Rogue One, I think, which was the best. I mean, Disney is capable of Rogue One. That was a great Star Wars film. The Battle of Scarif there is probably one of the best battles, if not the best space battle.
It was amazing.
In all of Star Wars.
It was brilliant, yeah.
You know? And this trash on the telly is just ripping it apart. Or single-handedly taking each one of the characters and breaking it. And I think what they're doing is they're pushing for a reset.
They're just killing the legacy.
I think they've got the young Han Solo, Aldrich, whatever he's called.
Oh, yeah.
They've got
young Lando.
They'll bring in Millie Bobby Brown as Princess Leia. They'll bring in Sebastian Stan as Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, Hacker Dog as Chewbacca. You know, you know,
he'd be a good Chewbacca, to be fair. He'd be good.
You know, and I dread to think when we turn to C-3PO, they'd be like, I don't know.
It'd be in pink, wouldn't it? It'd be pink gold.
It'd be pink gold. It would be. Oh, I don't know.
They just need to get a grip, don't they? Like
I said, I grew up with these characters. It was my thing, and I'm gradually losing the will to watch any of it.
Yeah.
Losing the will to watch any of it.
It just makes you worried, doesn't it? It just makes you worried for what they're going to do next. Like, they got the Ahsoka series coming out. You worry what they're going to do to that character.
Yeah.
It's just...
Disney are destroying people's childhoods. And they shouldn't be allowed to do it. And you thought when Feige and all that were coming on board, it was going to be, oh, yeah, it's all super fan service. But they haven't done me any service.
No.
You know, it's ruined it for me. Any expectation, anything.
And I can't stress this enough. I wanted to love this series, and I tried to fight every kind of corner for it. But at the end of the day,
so do I.
You just can't be blinded by this garbage.
And just like Princess Leia, I am about to forget that I ever saw it and that I ever knew him.
I'm going into exile again.
Yeah, too right.
Oh, we've got to talk about those cameos as well at the end.
What cameos?
With Qui.
Oh yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn at the end. What on earth was
Liam
that?
Neeson looked about 70 years old, didn't
he? He was an 8 foot. He was an 8 foot Force ghost. They're not normally that tall, are they?
No.
Yes, I know then. All right.
You took your time, Obi-Wan.
He's been in that desert for 10 years.
And what worries me is that it's set up a season 2 in that regard, and I don't want to see it.
I don't want it.
Because they're just going to ruin it. Yeah. They're just going to ruin it even further.
I don't want it. All the characters, all the cool characters are being taken apart. I just don't want it anymore.
No.
I really don't. I'm sad. I'm sad for every Star Wars fan. I had to suffer them 3 movies, that Last Jedi and all that, and now this rubbish.
It's just a very, very downward trajectory, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's just no kind of glimpse of life or anything at the moment.
And I'm really... I try and end on a positive. Princess Leia, the little kid who played Princess Leia, that will lead into, I reckon, a Princess Leia
She's
show.
The future, isn't she, I think?
Yeah,
she's the future.
I think that will lead in some sort of Leia show. Whether they go with her or whether they up-level it and we have the future adventures of Leia with Millie Bobby Brown, because she's born to play Princess Leia, I think. I've always said that. Yeah. She looks like Princess Leia. She talks like Princess Leia. Whether they're going to go with some series with her, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. And then form the new squad and do the other films again, but this time they'll just all be nice to each other. Death Star blows itself back together.
Yeah.
And
no stormtroopers were harmed in the process.
No, they invite everyone to come and live on their giant space station, and everyone's happy. you know, and the Force has the power to, I don't know, bring love to everybody. Ah. Well, we've been 20 minutes. I think that's enough of that.
Yeah, we do apologise for the rant.
We do. We do. It's just very important to me, and you'll find out as we go through how important Star Wars is to me.
Definitely.
And we just needed to get it off our chest tonight, and I think we've done it. I think there's about 50 other things we could talk about.
We could be spending hours ranting about this, honestly, but
we just want to put it behind us.
Yeah.
I want to put it behind us and get on with some great reviews of some upcoming stuff. We've got some great ideas for some great shows. Please like and subscribe if you've got this far into the video. I don't suppose you have. You probably turned us off ages ago. But please like and subscribe. We've got 130 odd subscribers now. We're trying to make this our dream. And we are pushing towards it. And we are levelling everything we do at the time. Although these videos may look the same as it.
Says me with a towel on my head, you know.
And me with a Darth Vader cheapest costume possible on. Okay. So I think we'll leave it there.
Yeah. Like I said, just let us know what you think about it. If you disagree with us, honestly, let us know. Just get a conversation going, you know. Let's we can rant together.
We'd really like to have some of the art. We really want to build a community where we can all have a chat and discuss it and do it from our point of view, not from the big people in America who get to see it all, but from the layman's point of view. You know, I think we've got some ideas for some different types of show that we want to get on and get going, but we really need your support to make it happen. That financial support, just knocking a subscribe would do us.
Yeah, let us know you're there.
Yeah. So, on that, I think we'll quite depressingly bow out, don't you?
We will, yes.
We'll look forward to the next
We're going into exile.
Disney Plus Star Wars series. Yes, let's go back to our cave and
go back to the cave and spy on some kids.
do some deals with Jawas for plastic space toys.
Yeah.
That's
what we want to see.
That's the one from the film.
That's what we want to see from our Star Wars
programs. Or maybe do some quotes that we all go, oh yeah, he said it.
Hello there.
Yeah. It'd be 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Right. That's us signing off.